listening to Gin and Chat with Lo and Nat.
So pour yourself a chilled martini and let's chat.
Hey chatties, it's Lo and Nat, and if you've been listening, you know we're all about building a community around drinking gin and having cheeky chats with friends, and we've found the perfect gin for you, Conniption.
This modern American gin brand is female-founded, award-winning, and proudly distilled right in Durham, North Carolina. They've got 4 incredible expressions: Navy Strength, American Dry, Barrel-Aged, and our personal favorite, Kinship Gin.
It's bold enough to slay a martini with a twist, bright enough for a chill gin and tonic, and smooth enough to sip neat while you manifest your next era.
Conniption isn't just for the gin diehards like us. It's crafted for the cocktail curious, for the ones who throw the party and bring the playlist, and for the home happy hours that turn into unforgettable nights.
It's the gin that made us love gin even more, and we know you'll love it too.
So if you're 21 plus, head to conniptiongin.com/gin-and-chat and use code gin-and-chat right now to grab your bottle, whether it's Kinship for that color-changing wow or one of the others to elevate every pour.
Because the best chats happen over the good stuff, and you deserve the very best. Cheers to that.
Chatties, today we're joined by the incredible Brooke Graves. Brooke is a doctor of clinical nutrition, a total wellness queen, entrepreneur, and the CEO of Kaleidoscope Juice, which is an 8-location organic cold-pressed juice and smoothie company based in Phoenix and has also been called the Airwan of Arizona. With advanced degrees in nutrition and functional medicine from University of Western States and a background in nutrition and sustainability from Arizona State University, she blends serious science with real-life wellness in the most inspiring way. She's also the founder of Scori Skincare, a soon-to-launch science-backed skincare line rooted in whole body health. And on top of all that, she's a proud mama to her 1-year-old daughter, Clementine, who keeps her grounded, glowing, and motivated every single day. Welcome, Brooke, to the pod.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yay.
Excited to be here. Thanks so much.
We're so excited. Let's cheers first. So we did Kaleidoscope Juice, the gold juice.
The best.
Which, can you tell us about that blend? What's in it?
The blend is organic green apple, organic lemon, organic ginger, and a little bit of cayenne.
Incredible.
A kick.
And we mixed it with Conniption.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A little gin and juice, if you will.
It's so good.
It's really good. It's a little spicy. I like it.
I know, it's the best. My wedding beverage, as I always say. My wedding cocktail that we had.
If I was drinking that all night.
Yeah.
I'd
Always
be jumping in
always
the
a
pool
good
at the end of the
time.
night. Yep. Not remembering why my hair looks natural in the morning. Well, thank you so much for coming. We're in Nat's apartment today, which is so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for coming on over. We're really excited to talk to you about all things wellness, all things business. It's always nice to hear a female founder's story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe
I would also love to tell the story of how we met.
Yes.
And why we're here, because it's a little crazy. But when Lauren and I had the crazy idea of opening up our fitness studio, we were thinking of having Kaleidoscope. That was our dream, was to have Kaleidoscope Juice within our fitness studio, because you guys are also inside of the workshop Pilates in Arizona. And I would go to Pilates, I would get a juice after, and I was like, this is genius. Like, this is what the girls want. So that was gonna be inside of our fitness studio. That was our big dream. Didn't know how to make that happen. I was emailing random emails on the page, and I was like, maybe one day I'll meet the owner. I guess I manifested it because I went to an influencer event a few weeks ago with Resort Pass and Kaleidoscope, and I met you.
Yes, which I'm so honored that you have us on like a dream to work with. Because I always find it crazy. When people tell me, especially when I was sitting across from you at the dinner, it's like, you know who we are? Like,
right.
How do you know who we are? Because we're just such a small local business. So it's really, honestly, like really cool to hear. So thank you for even like thinking of us and knowing who we are, period, I should say.
Of course.
That we exist.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like thrilled to have you here. I feel like I heard you started young. And I find that really interesting, like started Kaleidoscope young. And I kind of want to talk about like what sparked that initial idea and then what sparked the action that you took to begin it.
Okay.
Because I feel like the idea is one thing and then doing it is another, So just take us back to that.
I will. Okay. So I used to have a partner. And so I really like to say so she really was like the beginning stages of all of this. She won a grant from ASU. It's called, I can't remember the name of the grant. She won a grant from ASU for Healthy Fast Casual, just an overnight thing. Had no idea what it would look like, had no idea what it would be called. So flash forward, she starts kind of juicing in her apartment. She starts juicing for families, and she hasn't opened a business or anything.
Wow.
She's juicing for a family that I'm nannying for in college. And so I'm seeing these like kind of like dilapidated looking juice bottles in a fridge, and I'm like, what is this? Like, are you making this at home? To the woman I'm nannying for. And she's like, no, a really sweet girl juices them. I meet her in a parking lot and I get these juices from her. So of course I was like, that's so cool. I was a senior at ASU. I was planning on going to medical school and I was I was graduated with nutrition dietetics for my undergrad. And I was like, I have to meet her. I have to like see what this is. So just like kind of knew what Kaleidoscope was, but it wasn't really even Kaleidoscope yet.
Right.
And then I am in medical school and I see that they're opening a shop in Old Town Scottsdale. She's opening this like juice bar. And now that I know her and we became partners and all that, it's so funny because when I asked her, I'm like, how did you just open up overnight? She was like, I was in the shower and I just came up with 3 smoothies and I kind of just put them on the menu. And she's like, and those are the recipes. So it's so funny. When I started, we had no recipes. So I was one of her OG hires of going in on this business. And I was, going to medical school, needing to work part-time. It just kind of aligned with my lifestyle. Wow. And yeah, so there was no recipes. We had like maybe 6 juices. And so every day I'd kind of show up and I would just make things and be like, oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's crazy to see what it's become. Like we have recipes now, we have, operations, all those things, but she was so young and I was so young. And I ended up having this, epiphany. I went to China to study abroad at Shanghai Institute of Traditional Chinese Medicine. And I was like, nutrition is this is my niche. I absolutely love what I can do with medicine, but you're going to be seeing maybe 10 people, 20 people max a day. And you're going to be seeing a lot of like repeat things when a lot of it can be solved with diet. The protocol, it's all going to come back to diet. Yes. And what I was doing at Kaleidoscope, granted, I'd not been there that long. It was very, very small. I'm trying to not like jump around too much, even though I am jumping around a lot on this story. But I came back and I told her, I'm dropping out of medical school. What we're doing here and what you're doing here, I believe in it so much. Like you can do so much more with nutrition and like we can really make unique, cool blends. Yeah. And she was like, sure, okay, great. And no, she was very excited, very sweet about it. But I started to be able to grow more with the business. We started opening locations together. I got asked to partner. Again, like I'm trying to think at this point, I'm maybe like 24, 25. I mean, so, and I'm kind of like any opportunity we get, and we're very just, sure, why not? Sure, we'll do it. We'll figure it out. That. Yeah. And after I had seen what I had experienced in China and the holistic form of medicine and truly getting down to the root cause, and now it's very popular here. It's very popular, which is amazing to see that functional medicine is now the root of all. I feel like all medical practitioners are coming back to that. I wanted to be that bridge for the gap between where you go into the doctor's office and your doctor says you have SIBO. So you need to follow, let's say, low FODMAP diet. Yes. To an average person, they're going to go, what is that? And how do I follow low FODMAP? You're going to have to suddenly overnight become a nutritionist and go in, and then you go to places and you're like, well, can I have this? Can I not have this? So we needed to have this place where you could go, and we took away all that guesswork. So you came in and I can tell you, this is low FODMAP on the menu. This is celiac friendly. This is going to help with glycemic index. So we needed to really take what was being told to you in a doctor's office and integrated into a healthy, fast casual that wasn't just something that you got a smoothie or you got a juice. No, you're on a dietary protocol and we're making it really accessible for you to be able to continue living life.
Wow.
So that was a long,
no, I love that.
version.
Thank you.
That was great to hear. I was just going to say it's inspiring because my mom actually has an autoimmune. And I remember when she was diagnosed in high school, she had to go through a long phase. First she tried Western medicine and they tried to just put her on prednisone for the rest of her life and all the things. And she was like, there has to be a better way. There has to be another solution. And she started seeing a naturopath. And that was when she learned about food interacting with the body and started going on these crazy diets. And it was no dairy, no gluten, no soy, no sugar for years. And it saved her life, honestly. And like seeing the difference in how food can heal her. And it's just so awesome that you're making it accessible to people because that is the thing. Not everyone knows the tools or how to do it. And giving them something that it's like, okay, I can just drive to this smoothie shop. I know I can get things that go along with my diet or what I need, and making it that accessible is Amazing.
Yeah. I similar story. My mom has lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. And so I've been trying to teach her a lot, and she's taken note as well, but it's not talked about, especially with that older generation. And it's not as accessible as maybe going through like a Starbucks drive-through is. And, you know, it's, I love that you're making accessible, like Natalie said. And I also have PCOS. And when I got diagnosed, I got a food sensitivity test, and I had like a candida overgrowth. And it was the first time I was hearing about any of this. And I had gone through like, I mean, I've talked about this on the podcast before, but like I'd gone through a surgery where they thought I had endometriosis because I had really bad cysts, and they took the cysts out. And it took me 13 years to get diagnosed with PCOS. And so much of it had to do with my diet as well. And I'm still learning, but yeah, I think hearing how passionate you are and how all of your interests and your whole life kind of tied into this business idea makes a lot of sense as to why it's successful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that was kind of leading to like, my next question was like, how did you know that you could be an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Definitely wouldn't have called it being an entrepreneur when I told my parents I was dropping out of med school to like full-time make smoothies and juice. They were like, okay, well, I mean, you're paying for your own life. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
But I would say I believed so much in the power of healing people and seeing it firsthand. I have an autoimmune condition as well. I've had rheumatoid arthritis since I was 3. Yeah. So why nutrition? I thought I wanted to go into rheumatology. My rheumatologist wrote my letter of rec for me to get into medical school. Like I was I also thought maybe dermatology at some point, but I was so into that world, and I was very fortunate at a young age. My mom, helped me with dietary protocol. I was getting acupuncture as a little kid. I was doing chiropractic work. I was stretching. I was always active. And I would say the reason that I could see this as a business model is because I always had my mom and my dad being my advocates and taking me to all these random ass doctors that like, you know, and we were in the Midwest. So when I tell you it was like weird places, you're like, it was crazy. But, I was able to go in and out of remission as a young child and not be on steroids my entire life. And I'm so grateful for that because my parents cared, and exactly what you guys are saying, that you were the advocates for your mother. I was very fortunate where my parents were the advocates for me. And I come into contact with so many people who are just don't have that person who can tell them there is another way. So when I was seeing us be a business that people could come into and watch their lives change, I was like, this is what I meant to do. This is my practitioner's office. So that's why I ended up continuing on. My business partner and I bought her out, which is like a longer story. But we kind of just decided this was going to be my doctor's office. So I continued on with school, but I went a totally different route. I got switched from medical school to my master's in human nutrition and functional medicine, and then my doctorate in clinical nutrition. So I really honed in on if we're going to go all in on Kaleidoscope and make sure every product has a reason and every product is an advocate for somebody's health. And like this, there's no other business for me. Like this is what I meant to do.
Yeah, you had a deeper why.
Yeah. I was going to say, I love that because we've talked a lot about how when you kind of start something that's your own, you have to have that strong why. And you know,
because a lot of shit does not work out. Right? And you have to sit there every night and be like, I'm doing this for the greater good.
Yes, exactly. I would actually love to know if you have, and you can share an anecdote of maybe a client that you've had or somebody that their life has changed from Kaleidoscope. And if you have a specific example, I would just think it'd be really cool to hear.
Oh yeah, of course. So you'll notice some of the juices are named after people.
Well, there you go.
So and there it is. Yes, I had somebody who came to me and they were late stage diagnosed. It was actually an employee of mine's mother who was late stage diagnosed with 4 different types of cancer, and she had gone to a few very big prestigious local hospitals, and they were kind of told the usual, your labs look normal, everything looks normal. So they didn't catch this until honestly very late. And my employee called me and said, my mom was just diagnosed with 4 different types of terminal cancer, and they basically told her good luck and do as much as you can, but be comfortable and good luck. So, and it makes me emotional talking about it because I'm very good friends with this employee of mine. I've worked with her for 10 years. We've worked alongside each other for 10 years. And she was like, is there anything I can do? And I was like, at that time in my career, I hadn't taken oncology nutrition yet in my doctorate. So I still met with her mom. I tried to do as much research as possible. And then a few months later, I was in my doctorate. I had taken oncology nutrition. And I sat there and was like, holy shit, there are thousands of things with research behind it, herbs, ingredients, like turmeric, stuff like that, that you can add into your diet that makes any type of cancer treatment when it comes to when it comes to chemotherapy, works more efficiently. I can't even speak right now.
No, it's okay.
So it makes your chemotherapy and radiation, it works better, and it makes you respond better to treatment.
Wow.
And then on top of it, it also helps your immune system, because obviously your immune system's down when you're going through those treatments. So you're more susceptible to like common ailments, and they become more deadly because your immune system's so low. Yep. So in my oncology class, I started pulling all of these research articles. I started pulling all of these ingredients, and I was like, I'm going to make a blend, because every single person that I've talked to that's come to me for cancer nutrition has been told good luck, and they've gotten no help when going through this treatment. So I'm going to make something. It's called the Ann Juice. It was named after her mother. And we launched it across all Kaleidoscope locations. But if you see it, it was essentially made in order to give people a fighting chance at their cancer treatment. And to help make it more efficient and help with their symptoms. There's little things in it, such as no citrus, because a lot of people don't know that you can't have citrus because you have open sores often when you're going through cancer treatment. So you can't be taking just juice shots at random, or you can't just, like everyone thinks like juice and obviously turmeric, ginger shots, they are healthy, but if you have anything with citrus, it's going to burn their mouth. So just little tweaks like that.
Oh, that's incredible. I love hearing that. No. It's amazing. I love the like nerdy like side of it, and hearing like the science behind it. Like it's so fascinating, and it just shows how much you care about what you're doing. And I think that's why you are in the place that you're at, and why Kaleidoscope is so successful, because you care. There's heart in the business, and there's a reason, there's a why, you know?
Yeah, I do. I'm very grateful. I wake up every day very blessed that I get to call this my job.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate.
I had an aunt who passed away from cancer when I was younger, and I was very close with her, and I saw her go through chemo, and then she had to go through radiation, and she basically had tumors like all over. But it was always like wild to me how like quickly it happened, because they didn't, I was 12 years old. I wasn't actually like in the details or like knew the details of what was happening. But I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, it happened so fast. Like how did they let that happen so fast? And then I remember clocking it that they would give like pudding, like at the food that they give at the hospitals. And I'm looking at my aunt, it's like, and she was living at the UCLA facility. Like she was not going home after her treatment. She was there all the time. And then they'd give her, she'd be sick in bed, and then they'd give her all this crappy food. And I remember being like, I don't think this is like something in my intuition as a 12-year-old was like, that's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things where they tell a lot of cancer patients or people who are sick in general, you just want calories. So it doesn't matter where those calories come from. A lot of it is just we need to have sustained energy because they're lethargic, because they're so sick, where that's when juicing is actually a really incredible thing, because it's not hard on your digestive system. Because people who are going through those heavy treatments, it's a lot of work to eat like a full steak or a sandwich. It's a lot of work on their digestive tract. So they're getting foods like pudding and things that are easy to eat, easy to consume, that won't necessarily make it harder in their digestive tract to absorb. Where that is, if you could have somebody who'd come in and say, okay, maybe we should do juicing. So like there's a really great medical facility in Arizona called Invita, and it's over here, and we actually just started working with them. So Invita does functional approach cancer treatment. Wow. So if you go in, you are not going to get the same treatment as even the next person who might have the exact same style of cancer as you. You will get tested, your blood will get tested. It will start looking at you from a unique perspective, because there are some chemotherapies that have been used that are, let's say, really great for colon cancer, but they found out with your blood type and your screening that you came back with, a different type of chemotherapy might work that's for breast cancer. It becomes so targeted, and they target the tumors instead of just injecting the whole body, so that it's hyper focused on tumor suppression.
Yeah.
And then they're giving things like juice, which is how we kind of got introduced, and smoothies in order to have sustained energy with things with polyphenols and antioxidants to keep your immune system up.
It's incredible. That's amazing.
So I'm shout out Invita. Like
Shout out Invita.
They're great in Arizona. Yeah.
And it's comforting to know that those places are existing and becoming a thing, because I think they didn't for a long time and it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
There was just no education.
Yeah, well, there was, but just not in
It
this
was
part
hidden.
of the world.
It was hidden to us.
Yeah, you had to find it. And there's really cool, I don't want to knock it because there's really amazing things in research. I'm actually just starting a founding board with Phoenix Children's, and we're acting like a Shark Tank almost for different providers to come in and tell us the research that they're wanting to put forward in different departments of Phoenix Children's.
Wow.
The crazy, amazing things that are happening in scientific research are just remarkable. Like, we are so blessed to live in the time that we live in for the scientific advancements we have, but there needs to be this communication of the nutrition world and the scientific backed research world, where you're blending the two, where the nutrition world is coming in and helping these treatments and showing like what you're eating can help move things along. Or in opposite, like if you're about to go get surgery, you do not want to take turmeric because it'll thin out your blood. So having that kind of educated, back and forth for a patient could be life-saving. So
it kind of reminds me of how, you go see an esthetician and they talk about how this facial's great. It's going to do great things for you, but you have to take it home, and it's what you do at home that's going to really make the difference. And it's kind of the same thing. Like you go to a doctor and they're going to give you this program or medicine or whatever you need, but unless you're taking it one step further and adding in that nutritional element, it's not going to be as effective, or you might actually be doing yourself more harm than good without even knowing it. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like having that communication when you go to the doctors.
Yeah, they should be a team. You are working with your doctor as a team. You know your body best, but you also need, as we always say, like outside input, and then you need things from different angles. So I don't know everything about nutrition. If I still go to my friends all the time, if there's something that's in their wheelhouse for friends that I've gone to school with, I will text them and be like, am I going to hurt myself if I take this? Like, you know more about this than me.
Yeah.
Medicine and nutrition and just taking care of yourself should be a community experience, because there is no way one person can know everything on the planet. You need to always have a team. So medical nutrition therapy needs to be a team approach. And so anytime you're going for cancer, anytime you're going in for IBS, anytime you're going in for allergies, like there should be this team approach.
That's really smart.
So I hope to be a small part. That's how I view Kaleidoscope, a small part of the team.
I'm kind of going to ask you a broad question, but
go for it.
What are your thoughts on just like the pharmaceutical companies?
Oh, in general?
In general.
So I would say I don't love the fact that pharmaceutical companies have a massive payout scale, that it makes it extremely hard for people in America to be able to afford basic health care. And there are drugs that they need, such as, life-saving things in diabetics that need insulin. I always tell people it's amazing that we gave out COVID shots for free in order to save lives, but diabetics need insulin to stay alive, and those are still not free.
Yeah.
So it's just, and not trying to knock one thing against the other, but it's like, if we're talking about life-saving measures, like you're going to, why is that not available?
Right.
And I know you need money in order to make the world go round, but there's other countries that seem to somehow give people access to pharmaceutical drugs that will keep them alive, not at such an astounding cost that it will put you into basically debilitating debt.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't like that part of pharmaceutical companies. I do think there is a time and a place for pharmaceuticals when it comes to, let's say I get my arm chopped off and I go to the hospital, I'm going to need some morphine. If my arm is like chopped off and I'm bleeding out and
let me tell you this. I went because I thought I had appendicitis, and it ended up being like a bunch of cysts bursting, and it was horrible. Yeah. It was actually last year. And they were like, hey, we can give you birth control and morphine. That was the solution.
So, yes.
So I was like, hey, so my arm's not chopped off.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Sprouts. I literally go, get me out of here, get me to Sprouts.
Yes.
And I found a great,
Yes, no, exactly. Where it's a time and a place, a team approach. You're looking at somebody, but I always say this too, that's emergency care. So my husband has been great. He reminds me, because I'm so holistic. I used to be no drugs ever at any time. I am, like you wouldn't have even catch me taking a Tylenol on my worst day.
Wow.
Like I was
Incredible.
so into it. Like when I was in college and going to med school and all this stuff, and especially in my experience with my autoimmune condition,
Right.
which I
Yeah.
worked through diet in order to move through.
Wow.
But he's a firefighter, and
Yeah, right.
he
That's
sees
it.
people
Yeah.
get their arms chopped off, and he's
Yeah.
like, we kind of need some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, when if
Yeah.
there's a 911 call, he's told me, you know, like amazing things that they've done and essentially brought people back to life
Wow.
through some pharmaceutical drugs. So I don't fully knock it. There is a time and a place, but team approach.
Yeah.
Team
Team
approach.
And I love that you're saying that, because I think that the missing piece here is there hasn't been enough integration with all
Yeah.
of it. But there is a time and a place for both, and you need both. But
Mhm.
we just have to communicate more team.
The OBG that I have, she's in Santa Monica. She's great. I really lucked out finding her because she has a holistic approach. So you basically just pay like a higher fee to get that like in-depth testing, and she can do food sensitivity tests as well. But she also takes insurance, and you can get an ultrasound done.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
she delivers babies.
Oh.
And yeah, so I'm like,
Love.
perfect. And
Yeah.
she's the first person ever that was like, hey, this is what like your ovaries look like, and this is what normal ovaries look like, and like let's talk about this and work through it. And she's telling me to like my lifestyle shifts that need to happen and my diet shifts that need to happen, and maybe it's good for you to weightlift. And I started with Natalie the other day. So
There you go. I love to hear it.
I'm still sore.
Yes.
Like, let's do this.
Yes, weightlifting is so good for women. We have such a high risk of like losing bone density and muscle mass. So I always tell women you want to be very, very strong, because one day you're going to be trying to pick up your grandkids.
Wow.
And you don't want to, not be able to lift them up.
Right.
And then on top of it, you just don't want to be set up for osteoporosis.
Right.
So
Yeah.
keep that bone density.
Thank you for saying that, because I've been on a weightlifting journey that I wasn't before. Strength training was always kind of a part of my routine, but it wasn't like the main focus. And I've obviously a dancer my whole life, and I've been in a group fitness junkie. Like I've tried everything, F45, all the things. But this is the first time I've done progressive overload, and I've done it for like 2.5 months. I have never seen my body shift.
She was changing earlier. I go, so you have abs? You have a six-pack?
Yeah, I was like, didn't used to have that, but it's crazy to me. And I think as a woman growing up, I was so scared to be bulky, or I was so scared that if I would lift weights too much, I would get large. And as a dancer too, I was like, I need to be skinny. I need to be, all the things. So it's just refreshing to hear women finally talking comfortably about like, go lift weights, like go be strong.
Yes.
It's hot to be strong.
It is. And it's like, now that I have a daughter, I think about everything that I do, and I watch what I say, and I watch how I act, because I want to make sure that I am okay. Anything coming out of my mouth would come out of her mouth, and I'd be happy with it.
Wow.
So that's how I view like exercising. I'm going to go get stronger. Or I'm going, and she babbles, she talks, she says some things, but I never want to hear her say, I'm fat, or
Right.
I do this, or I have to earn a meal, or I have to go work out because I ate too much. Like I would really hate to instill that in her mind.
Wow.
So now it's just like, mommy's getting strong. We're going to go work out, because, a lot of it too is mental for me. Like I have to work out in order to stay, just in general with work, to stay positive and to just keep
Mental,
up with, resilience. And so I tell her all the time, I'm going to go work out, because it's like mommy's happy time. And like, she's like, busting out a move. And then I'll work out a lot at home with her on videos, and she'll sit and lay with me, and she'll try to do like the push-ups and the sit-ups. And it's never I want it to always be fun. Like she thinks it's a game. Like, why not start viewing that as wellness for young women? Like it's a game, it's fun, it's something you should partake in for a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and I love that you're instilling that in a young age too, because I feel like you don't see that a lot. I would love to know actually, what's a little day in the life for you? Give us through a typical day as a mom and a business owner.
well, my daughter doesn't like to sleep that much, so we get up very early. She is, I don't think she's really slept past like 4:35 a.m. since she's been born.
Oh,
So we're
Cool,
up,
cool.
we're cracking at 5. And I like to have my mornings with my family. So my husband works 48 hours on, 72 off. So I always say like I'm single momming it for half the week, which single moms, I don't know how they do it. Like truly astounding. It's incredible. I could not do this by myself. But so back to my day in the life, but I just had to say that because I think about it every week. And my friends who are single moms, I text them once a week and I'm like, God bless you. God bless you. I just have to tell you that you're doing an incredible job.
So strong.
But we get up in the morning, we do coffee, we do bottle, I get her ready. We just started Montessori. So I take her to Montessori, or my husband will if he's home. At 8. So we try to just like, I also will check my emails depending on if he's home, and I get 30 minutes to go through my day. I also check our bank accounts, maybe make sure we didn't have fraud, because that has happened before.
Oh my gosh.
Coffee check bank account.
Yeah, I'm always like checking our bank accounts, checking our credit cards. I'm like,
Wow.
did anybody steal anything? No. Okay, we
great.
can move forward. So
Start the day.
Yes. So I do all of like my basic checks, or like 911s if something happened over the night and I need to follow up on. Take my daughter to school. I'll start like working, then like in person. I always keep like an 8 to 12 is like my meeting window. Like if you want to meet with me, or if you want a one-on-one with me, my 8 to 12 is always going to be available, because that's when my daughter's in school, and I know I won't have to reschedule likely, you know, I just always know I have childcare. And then I will, depending on the day, after we pick her up from, my husband will pick her up or I will pick her up, after the noon o'clock window, I will go into, I call it like my second phase of work. So then I will either do like interviews, podcasts, which aren't very often. So I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me. But I always do the like layout things for upcoming events, or more of the computer work.
Yeah.
So I do like our bookkeeping, our receipt coding. I double check in on our finances. I do our projections, and then and all the boring, serious stuff that I'm kind of like not like dreading to do. My fun beginning morning of the day, when I'm more like bright and with it, are like my in-person meetings and stuff. So yeah, I do that till around. My daughter sleeps until like 3 if I'm lucky, and then I'll have another like spurt of a window. If my husband's not home, I'm fully on mom mode until my daughter goes to bed, and then I do all of my emails and my second wind of stuff until like 9. Wow. And then my husband is home. He will take her for like an hour or 2, so I can try to finish up as much stuff as I can, so then we can at least have dinner together. So basically, a normal day of the life is a hodgepodge of when I have childcare. I'm just gonna be honest. Like as a mom, like there's no singular day that looks the same, and that's great. But I feel like a lot of people, when you are working and you also have children, it seems like women are expected to do it all, and you physically cannot do it all, but you can do a lot of things just at chunks of time, and you have to be okay with it. Like I don't know how many podcasts I've seen of like male entrepreneurs being like, I'm doing a cold plunge sauna at 5 a.m. and then I'm waking up staring into the sun, and then I'm going and having my chef cook me this meal, and I'm like, so who's watching your kid?
Right, the ice face. Right.
I'm like, because I'm not really understanding where a kid gets up and goes to school, but you somehow have like 3 or 4 kids. And so as a woman, I feel like it's important to say like, I am doing all these things, but I'm also doing it. My husband is very helpful, very hands-on, fully like great partner, but I am a mom, and I want to be there for those things. And this is a phase of my life, and who knows, maybe in a few years when she's a little bit older, I will be able to do all that stuff in a crazy routine that is amazing for my biological clock, but not right now. Right now, I'm mom first, then the business.
Wow. I love that you said that. I think that's great and comforting for a lot of women to hear. It's like, like you be a mom. It's okay. Like that's great.
Being a mom rocks.
And your business is still thriving.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And thank you. And it's fun. And it won't be fun if I look back in 10 years, my daughter doesn't remember ever spending time with me.
Right.
Then it's like, what am I doing it for?
Right.
Yeah, totally. I was going to ask, actually kind of goes off of that, but I'm assuming it's changed now that you have a child. What does success mean to you now versus when you started?
Okay. So this is actually a little bit, much deeper. Success to me is that when my husband and I are 65 years old, my daughter calls me up and says, do you want to go on vacation with me and my family? Aww. That like she has such a good relationship with me and my husband that her idea of quality time and vacation time is spending time with her parents.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. That is, that is something I think money can't buy.
Yep.
And it's also something that, why wouldn't you want to strive that like the people you love in your life love you so much that they want to be around you?
Yeah.
So that's my definition of success.
I love that.
Beautiful definition.
I think we're two women that are very close with our parents and still to this day. And I mean, I actually moved here to be closer to my parents. They're down in Queen Creek, and just being able to get in the car and drive an hour to go see my parents to me is like so meaningful. And I know we're both very lucky because not everybody feels that way, but I'm just super grateful that, you know, we're close to our parents. And I think that family dynamic is everything.
You should ask them, be like, what's your definition of success to your parents? And I guarantee
My dad's gonna be like, I want to get a boat.
no, he won't. He'll surprise you. I think your parents will surprise you, especially because you're close with them. I promise.
No, they're the best.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Spending time with you, obviously.
Yeah. It's funny now when I call them, because I don't check in as often as I should. You know, life gets in the way. I get busy. And when I call my mom, my dad comes running from whatever room because he'll hear my voice and he's like, "Are you talking to our daughter without me?"
See, that's so sweet. And that, I mean, for you as a daughter, I hope that I raise a young girl like you two who want to be around my parents and talk about me in such a way that you talk about your parents.
Yeah. I think it's a testament to just your mindset now as a mom.
A little bit more maybe onto the business side of things.
Yeah. Sorry, why we're here.
No, I mean, this podcast is just free flowing. It's whatever comes out. It's just having a conversation, you know? So I'm happy that it's kind of gone in all different directions, but maybe just for us too, because we were women that obviously this is now our business. This is our baby.
This is our baby.
Another one. And I think just giving maybe some advice to people that want to start a business, like especially as a woman going into it and being a female founder, what's your top piece of advice?
Believe in yourself so much that anything anybody says to you, you become Teflon. Like it doesn't matter the compliments, the negativity, everything. You have to be I believe in this. I think that this is important. This is what I want to give out to the world. I am religious. I always say like God is working through. Yes, God is using me to deliver his message, and that message is helping and healing others. So when you have that and your blinders are on, and I'm not saying like I don't ever like derail or fall off, and like I definitely mess up as a mom and I mess up as a business owner and I mess up as a wife. Like I definitely, it's not a linear path.
Yeah. You're human.
Yes. But I get these glimpses of these specific moments, such as a story, if that's okay to kind of go in a moment. I have been having a really tough time. I've been trying to essentially build to grow to take on investors because I want to grow the company and I have no investors, and I have really done everything through SBA loans and our like pure financial savings. Like my husband loves me so much that I was like, are you ready to put up our entire life and then some? Like if anything happens, we lose everything. And he's like, I believe in you. And I'm like, my guy, thank you. Yeah. So also marry well. But that's like the biggest life hack on everything in business is marry well, because no matter what you do in business, your partner, and regardless of what it is your spouse. And it does not matter if they work with you or if they do another job, like they are with you through everything, highs, lows. They will make your career go this way like that, or they will tank you. So true. So yes, that should be number one. Marry well. That's the business life hack. But anyways, sorry, I was having a really hard time with just like going through investor decks and like trying to figure out to prepare the company in order to sit with investment bankers. And I just was really down on myself because the experience was really hard. Like it's okay to hear harsh things about you and your business, but it does cut. Right. And it again, Teflon, you have to be like, okay, you think I suck, but that's okay. I don't suck. I'm just going to move through it. But I got a message. I was really down on myself one day, and a woman just randomly reached out to me and was like, I know you don't remember me. My daughter had terminal breast cancer, and anytime we came into the store, you would always like talk to me, ask how my day was going, and I would bring up that I was picking up smoothies for my daughter who was in the hospital, and I never told you why, and I never, shared because it was really hard for me to talk about in person, but you always comped my smoothie and like said you'd be praying for me and that like you were thinking of me. And she was like, I just want you to know, like, I think about you often and what you're doing, and I wish you all the blessings in the world. And I got this random message on Instagram, and I was just sobbing, and I was like, after hearing all these things from like investment bankers.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't know shit about what I'm doing. Like, you don't know what I'm doing and the people and the lives I'm touching. All you're seeing is dollar signs, which are important, obviously, to keep a business afloat. But like the experiences that I'm having, like these people are worthy. The concept is worthy. Everything is worthy. And like, that is why I'm doing this. And it can like snap me out of it and be like, okay, blinders are on. We're going. Like, screw what they said. We're going.
Wow. I mean, mic drop. That was beautiful. We also, I mean, we're both religious as well. And I always say, like, my deeper why is to use my performative talents to help people. And Natalie's is similar to inspire. And I think that's why, to take it back to like our business baby, like this podcast came together so seamlessly. Like it felt like it was just like, we were like a vessel to create something, and we want to, educate women and almost like make it for a younger version of ourselves, give them confidence, give them friendship and companionship, and maybe some gin if you're 21 plus. Go to conniption.com/gin&chat. No, but having that deeper why and when you're connected to a higher power and connected to your belief system at your core, it makes everything else not necessarily easier, because it's not easy to sit in those meetings with those types of people and and hear those types of things. But you go back to that why, and then God will place, like if you're forgetting it, God will remind you. And that's what happened.
Yes, exactly. If you're always moving towards the greater good of humanity, I truly believe that you will be guided through the right people. It just may not feel good at the time. So I have let go of any type of thing. Like there's been oftentimes I felt like a loser. Like I felt like a big loser, and that my company was like not the coolest, or we weren't doing the most, and we weren't having all these things. And exactly, like God has brought so many amazing people into my life to remind me like who the hell we are and what we're doing. And like that is the purpose of it. And that's the purpose of Kaleidoscope.
That's incredible. Clip that. Well, going off of that, you have 8 locations right now. When was kind of the moment where you were able to look around and look at your life and what you've built and say, I made it, like I did it?
I don't think I feel that way.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think I've ever sat there and said
Wow.
like, yeah, I don't know. I've never actually, that's really kind of you to think that, but I don't think I've ever sat there and been like, wow, we've made it, or this is it. I think that I should like reflect on what we've been able to build and absolutely be very proud of where we are at. But I have just had these visions for the people we help and the things that we do, and we haven't gotten there yet. So like, I'll let you know when we get there. But I do say like I am so proud of the women. We're like 98% female, the whole company. We have a few men, and they're awesome. But I am proud that like almost all leadership roles and management roles in the company have been run by young women that are cultivating and growing their careers. So
very cool.
That has been cool to see, and watching people that have worked for me. I do a lot of letters of recommendation to get into advanced medical degrees. And so I write probably like 1 to 2 minimum a month for my girls. And I love seeing them like graduate from nursing school, graduate with their masters. So I would say times that I've actually felt like, wow, I'm really doing it, is watching those girls graduate.
Cool.
Actually. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. I think it's probably so fulfilling to see. I mean, I kind of feel that way about dance sometimes when I have a student or somebody, say to me, you helped me do XYZ, you inspired me to do XYZ. It's so fulfilling, I feel like, to have that moment where you can kind of give back to your community.
Yeah, it makes sense if the whole point is to help other people. When you're helping your people, that you feel most connected, or same thing to you and to me.
I want to know, kind of a cheeky, lighthearted question, but what are your top 5 wellness habits in your life?
It should be sleep, but
I would like Clementine wakes me up at 4:30.
But again, like I said, not my season. I'll be that biohacking guru in like 5-10 years when I'm like able to do that.
Right.
Now, actually, well, this is probably good because there's a lot of women that aren't sleeping because they do have kids, or they're just busy working multiple jobs. Like we've all been there.
Yep.
I would say my biggest like wellness hacks that I have right now is honestly consistently being hydrated. there's so many times that I tell people, I'm like, we had a shirt at one point that said, "You're not a bitch, you're just dehydrated." And we sold out of it. People loved it.
I have to have that.
Yeah.
That is.
Let me know when you restock.
I will. I'll give you guys shirts. But yeah, there so many of my problems. I'm like, I think I just need a glass of water. Like, I'm just like, think about it, like
No.
constipated, bad mood, bad breath.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like all these things that make you irritable. And then you're like, am I in a bad mood or do I just need water?
Yeah.
Well, it's
usually
usually we're addicted to coffee, so it's like coffee's not water. Let's remember.
My Americano is not water. It has water.
It has water in it, but like you always, it's like that beverage rule. It's like hydration, fun. You know what I mean? Caffeine. So you just have to remember that. So I do a lot of juicing. So obviously, but watermelon juice is probably my favorite for hydrating.
Love watermelon juice.
Yeah,
Yes.
the watermelon flush. We juice the white rind in ours because it actually has more citrulline in it, which helps you not spike your blood sugar as much. So I love the watermelon flush. When I was pregnant, I was like, I had a juice a day. Like I made sure I was like, this baby is going to be so healthy.
Yeah.
So I was on it, and we live in Arizona. You have to be hydrated. So hydration is really key. And I also like to tell people like hydration and eating whole fruits is actually really amazing for hydration. Apples, like strawberries, all these things, because fiber helps with your water absorption. So I do drink juice, but I also eat whole fruits and vegetables a lot. And I would say consistently focusing on whole food diet. Then I would say working out, exercise, movement. Again, as I tell my daughter, it's like my happy time. It's just something that forces me to just not think about myself. Like everybody is always really, even if you say that you're not, like you're always thinking in your head about like, I need to do this, or is that going to be performance well? Like you need to exercise honestly to just think about something else. And if I have like a bad meeting or something, I just tell myself, go work out. You need to like not think about it and then come back with a refreshed brain. So continuous movement, and that could look different for everybody, whatever your continuous movement is at that time. And what's another major thing that I probably do daily? I do drink coffee daily. I'm trying to think like other ththings that I do like daily. Oh, I do like a prayer daily. I always ask God, and I do it out loud because I want to make sure like he hears me. I'm like, God.
Just double checking.
I'm like, it's not a silent thought. This is a two-way conversation. So I always ask God every single day for God to please protect my family, please protect my business, and please protect me. And I say it every day.
Wow.
So faith, I guess.
Faith. Yeah.
We actually have talked a lot about how in our later 20s, we're now kind of rediscovering our faith and obviously getting deeper into it. But I'm just genuinely curious, like, is this something you've always been attached to, or has it gotten deeper as you've gotten older?
I would say I grew up really religious. So my mom was like a Sunday school teacher. We were born into the Catholic faith, baptized. I actually went to a Catholic high school for my like final year when we had moved.
I went to Catholic all-girls middle school.
Obsessed.
And a Christian high school.
Love it. Yes. But it wasn't a part of my entire upbringing. And so I would say I really didn't start getting into more so like faith-based decision-making. So that's what I call it, more so like faith-based decision-making until my like later 20s. And I would say it was after I met my husband, who's not religious. So I shouldn't say that, like maybe he is in his own way, but unconditional, like true love and I have that from my parents, but from my husband, because that's a choice, you know, and you get like, that is the only love that is a choice in your life. And me making that choice, it was something. And then also having my daughter, my whole perspective on how you treat people, how the meaning of the world, watching my daughter come into this world, having my husband choose me every day as his wife, it's really informed me like there is a higher being, and he put us all on this earth to serve a higher purpose.
It gives me chills. I so believe that. And we had an episode, or maybe it's coming out after. We just recorded an episode where we talked about like finding healthy partners in our late 20s. And we're really in our first healthy connections with people. And it's like knowing that this isn't transactional or conditional, and they're not going anywhere as of right now. Obviously, it's still growing. We're young, and yes, I get that. But it feels different. Like it feels so different. And I do feel like it makes you feel more expansive Like it makes you feel like heightened. Your your
Yes.
energy is heightened because of it.
My career really took off when I met my husband.
Wow.
And like I said, my parents love me, they support me. But having somebody who believes in you and is like, you're awesome, you can do it, and it's like not your mom, you know, like being like, it's like almost like a paid actor, you know, you're like, you have to say that. But
Well, you made me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But having that, it was like, okay, maybe I am. Maybe I can do this. And there's times like I was coming to this interview and I was like, I didn't prep and we had all this stuff. And I don't know. I hope they don't ask me too serious of questions and I stumble, whatever. And he looks at me, he's like, you are so smart and you're going to do great. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
I know. So yeah.
Oh, so great to hear. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. Like we're really at that stage. Like we're just started this business not even a year ago. Big ideas for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you know, you got to start somewhere. And
And when people, you know, when you start something like this, it's risky and people look at it and might think that's ridiculous. Why would they do that? You know, but you have to kind of block out that noise and just know that
Blinders.
like,
yes,
this is
But-
what I want. I feel this is right. I'm going to pursue it.
genuinely, when we started this, there was no thought about what anyone else was thinking about it. I got like a stupid hate email from this bitch, honestly, and I never call a woman that, but she's so mean, and she sent me this like horrible hate DM about the podcast. She's from high school. Like I haven't thought I have not thought about her. Exactly, what a loser. And it's funny because when I got it, I was like, yeah, I didn't really think about what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, and then I was like, oh, I didn't think about what anyone was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I just tell myself if stuff happens, it's not for them.
Right.
It's not for them. It's for someone, but it's not for them.
Yeah.
So just keep that perspective. I think what you guys are doing is great.
Thanks.
And you, again, what you're saying about the people in your life that are partners that are, you feel like a more mature, I would say like safe, secure relationship, like just keep those people in your life. And the minute you start to feel like you leave a room with somebody and you have doubts about yourself, cut them. Don't give them a second. Don't be like, oh, you had a bad day. Nope. Human beings, like everyone has bad days, but nobody should make you feel bad about their day. So like really just be intentional on who you surround yourself with.
Good point.
That's so good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, kind of, I think before we end, I would love to know, because I know you're starting a skincare line.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us, can you plug that a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I want to know more.
Thank you. Yeah. So this actually came to be when my daughter was about 3 months old. My husband has crippling eczema because of his job as a firefighter. We've tried everything, but he like won't go gluten-free, you know, so I say everything. Yeah.
He's like, I'm
he will watch
eating
this. I want you to
pasta.
remember that. We've
Yeah.
told you multiple times. No, but he gets really bad eczema and flare-ups when he wears his boots and his gloves and goes into fires.
Imagine.
And there's just no way around that, you know, and there's also no products that he can put on his hands and put medical gloves on that actually protect his skin, because they'll either be too slippery or you can't get the glove on, all of that. So we have just been like through a whole thing with him. So when I was pregnant, I supplemented like every week. I knew exactly what I needed to do for my baby. I was like, I got my doctorate to make my pregnancy the Olympics. Like I am going to, I
us a
hit
book, please.
Honestly, you should write a book.
I was a little nuts. Like I hit everything, but I didn't want my daughter to get eczema, and I didn't want her to have issues with all sorts of stuff. I was just like so worried because my autoimmune condition, she was I was a high-risk pregnancy because of my autoimmune conditions. I had to do a C-section. She was a month early. We had a lot of things, and I kind of knew it was going to happen. I was actually told at a young age it would be really hard for me to get pregnant, and that it would be very unlikely that I would have a baby. So, like, she is my miracle, and so I was like, everything I have learned, you will be healthy, all that. I started to notice at 3 months, she started to get like little eczema patches. And I said, not today. And I woke up in the middle of the night. I'd be up with her breastfeeding. And I was like on my phone, on the computer while she was just chilling. And I was looking up everything. I was like, what are the ingredients and stuff? Like, she hasn't been eating. How is she being introduced to food? Because it looked like a food reaction. And so through like research and just kind of, obviously no sleep and being insane, I found out that a lot of ingredients in skincare and hair care have like the chemical name, but their derivative comes from like probably 90% of the time soy and corn.
Oh,
great.
Didn't
And
know
then
that.
if you think of that, you put that on a bottle. That means it's like, what do they call it? Like Whole Foods based, or what you see in packaging, or vegetable based, or whatever. And it doesn't mean the ingredients are bad, but I found out that's a derivative. Well, you're putting something on cracked skin or on that's going to go into the bloodstream. You're introducing that product to a baby that's digestive tract is not ready to digest food yet. So I was like, oh my God, I'm like going insane being like, we're giving all these kids food allergies unknowingly. Like there's a specific type of lecithin that's in a lot of products that only comes from really egg yolk and from, I think, soy. So I was looking through these ingredients through that, me being crazy, calling anybody and everybody I knew in the skincare industry. I got linked up with a chemist in New Mexico. His name is Kevin. He's
Go
awesome.
Kevin.
He's awesome. And I was just like, can you help me get things that aren't from the top allergens? Because the derivatives have to come from something, or else it has to be a synthetic grade product. And so I was like, I want a natural product. I want something that is going to not just be a full, chemical bundle, but I want it to be from like as natural based sources as we possibly can. But I don't want it to be in the top 9 allergens, because the top 9 allergens, if you're having that introduced at too early of an age, I'm worried then, you're going to have food introduction at 6 months and they're going to have an adverse reaction to it.
Yeah.
So we were able to find a lot of things with coconut and able to look through like the coconut base and having it not be as abrasive and as aggressive. And so I started developing an eczema and psoriasis sensitive skincare lotion that's our tagline really is safe for baby, strong enough for first responders. So it's really like a product for
I just got
like
chills.
the 2 loves
That's
of
a
my
great
life.
tagline. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just finished. I'll finish in 20 days. I did clinical trials, and so we'll be able to put like dermatologist tested and approved, and
Awesome.
which I like would have never thought that I would do something like this. But yeah, I ended up just like kind of going for it, and I was like, nobody's making this product. I want to do something that there's all these amazing like natural brands, but are they too natural to the point where we're increasing food allergens and we're not like reeling it back where we need to have maybe a different type of base. So it's allergen friendly for families that deal with allergies.
Wow. That's incredible. I also just love your ability to, you get inspired, you have an idea and you go, I'm going to see this through to the end. And now you've got a physical product, because a lot of people would have that idea, have that inspiration, and then think
They'd look it up and be like, oh, damn.
I know.
I didn't do anything about that. Like, it's too much work.
Yeah.
Nothing scares you. You just have this ability to be like,
I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, I actually say this with a good girlfriend of mine. She's a brilliant doctor. Her name's Dr. Olivia Watkins. And so if you really need a good female doctor, like she is the best. She's in Atlanta, but she's also telehealth. And we met in med school, and then I dropped out, obviously. But she and I always say, why not us? Like I'll call her with an idea. She's like my business bestie. And I'll just be like, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm doing. And she's like, girl, why not you? And I'm like, yeah, why not me? And I do the same for her. So that is the mindset. Whenever you're thinking of something, just be like, why not me? There's thousands of people doing crazier things with the worst intentions. Why don't I try to do something that's like a little good in the world?
That's a great point.
So true. That's a great point. And you have such a strong why. Like it's coming from a solution to something that was a problem in your life,
And for your family.
Yeah. And you'll see, like, I'll show you guys after my watermark, my logo. It's like a combined S and a C for Scott and Clementine. So it's Scori, but that's like the S and C are combined because this is really like a love letter to like the 2 loves of my life, hoping it helps them.
Incredible. When is it coming out? Can you tell us a little more? Can we follow? Do you have an Instagram yet? Or?
I will
Yes,
buy. I
we
get
do.
eczema.
Yeah.
I have eczema on my eyelids when I get stressed.
It's for you. It is for you.
It's literally for me.
Yes. We're hoping I'm gearing up to buy 5,000 bottles and packages.
Woo.
And then I am going to do a 2,500 SKU run. So my goal is to have it out by this summer.
Amazing.
And I'll have a launch party. You can come.
Yay!
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. So goal is summer. Do you have an Instagram yet to follow? Or?
Yes,
Okay,
we
cool.
do. It's Scori Skincare. And I honestly did that because skincare is like intellectual property. I was like, oh, I got to be on this like really quickly. And you just, any idea, anything when it comes to like skincare stuff, intellectual property, when you guys go through like logos and you get into the legal bits of it, like you'll find out there's a lot of things like class coding. You just have to pay to play.
Yeah.
To get trademarked, to make sure
we
you're in your
got-
class
we do have
certification.
We'd have this
Yeah.
trademarked.
Yeah.
That is one thing we did do.
Gin&Chat with Lo and Nat.
Yeah.
Trademarked.
Yes. I always say that, like, marry a lawyer if you can, you know?
Yeah.
It might make you,
Totally.
it would be great to fall in love for all the amazing reasons.
Yeah.
Plus, if they were
Plus.
a lawyer, if you're planning on being an entrepreneur, you know, it
Yeah,
just helps
I
a
know,
little bit
it's
in
so
some parts.
true.
Well, my manager's married to a lawyer, so
She
that works out for
is.
us.
Go. See? It's
So there's that.
Yes.
She is.
Do you have any last questions?
I'm so grateful. I obviously, like, we always go into this doing our research, but I just think so highly of you as
Thank
a
you.
woman and a female founder, but also a mom and a wife and somebody that I definitely look up to. So thank you for coming on the podcast and
Thank
sharing
you.
your wisdom with our community.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Truly
it.
So honored, and I think this was an inspiring conversation. And I mean, I feel like we could talk about so much more. So maybe we'll have you back someday.
Love to be back.
Yeah.
Amazing.
When the line comes out, the skincare line comes out.
Yes.
That'd be
Yes.
fun.
Okay, well,
Right.
cheers. Thank you
Cheers.
so much, Brooke.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening today. Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you find your podcasts.
We hope you had a great chat, and we can't wait to have you back.